Besides, you're saying it wrong. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Let's get you out of here, Buzz.
Don't you get it? You see the hat? I am Mrs. Nesbit. Snap out of it, Buzz.
Look what I got. I got a jar of dirt. I got a jar of dirt. And guess what's inside it?
Taking my life, Usul. Here's the only way.
I'm pointing the way.
I've really got to get you out of those clothes
Excuse me?
and into a black dress. Tell me, Doctor, do you like the circus?
Welcome back. It is another great episode to get a load of this movie, a franchise movie podcast where we talk about movies that are a part of a franchise. And today we are doing none other than talking about a movie that is, get this, Cole, part of a franchise.
No way.
I know. It's kind of taking a little bit of a break from what we usually do, which is not listen to that rule. But today we will be listening to that rule, and we are taking one of the most iconic franchises in the history of iconic franchises, and that is Toy Story. And to do it, we have a great lineup of speakers on the dais. We have myself, Corey.
Dais?
Yes. We have, would you like to introduce yourselves? Go around. Who do we have?
Hey, what's up? I'm Cole.
Hi, I'm Zach.
They just can't keep up with my enthusiasm, and it's kind of upsetting because I came in ready to go. I have a sugar-free coffee, and I am just amped to talk about Toy Story. Toy Story streaming on Disney Plus right now, or
I think it's
Hulu?
might be on Hulu.
I was going to say Hulu,
They
but
have
then
that weird Hulu Disney Plus bundle.
but it is on Disney Plus, so go check it out there. But you know what? This is a movie that everyone has seen multiple times, and it's a classic. I rewatched it, and I was like, oh my gosh. I don't know how it's been so long since I've seen it last. I think it's been like 2 years, honestly. I can't remember, but it's...
So when the last one came out.
That was 2019.
I thought the last one came out... Yeah, I thought it was a while ago. Yeah,
No way.
I've seen it since that one
Maybe
came out, but I
Lightyear
think
was
it's been a
maybe
while.
3
But
years
this is
ago,
really good
maybe.
watch. Maybe I watched it when Lightyear came out. Anyway, really great stuff. I'm excited to talk about the movie today. Do we have anything before we get into my
So, just
favorite part of the
little prompt
podcast
here.
that's coming
Little-
back?
Stop it. There's I thought a decent opening prompt would be like, did you guys have a favorite toy growing up? I put that in there, and then I tried to think of mine, thinking it'd be really easy. And I even called my
Mhm.
mother when I couldn't really think of one, and she was like, she couldn't really think of one either. And we both came to the conclusion that I didn't really play with toys that much, and I was just watching a lot of TV. So that was, I mean, not that I had no toys, but that was probably more than any one specific toy. A lot of movies and television, I think.
You also played like PS2 at a younger age than most of our other friends. Like I remember going over when we were younger and we would play like Spider-Man 2 on the PS2.
Well, that's the benefit of being the younger sibling, is that you become the plug for your friends to come over and play video games that they would not have access to, or watch movies that they would not have access to. And then sometimes those friends betray that trust and turn informant on you, whether to their parents or to your older brother, whatever it may be.
I had a favorite toy, Zach.
Yep, go ahead.
I don't know if you guys ever heard of the Rescue Rangers. I had
Yeah.
an entire setup, and I loved the Rescue Rangers. Those were fun, and also probably equally, but on the side, kind of a different toy. Legos and Lincoln Logs.
You are good with Legos. I've noticed that you are above average at Legos.
Tubs and tubs of Legos. Like I just had all these, and they're all just intermixed, and so you're just making random stuff the entire time. Now I've shifted into the I like to be told what to make. I like to be told what to make. I pick up a book and it says, this is what you're putting together today, big boy. But the Lincoln Logs, those are always fun too. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those.
I've actually read a study recently that there's a correlation, like this was like on Twitter or something, that between like kids who are really good at Lincoln Logs and Legos, and then they usually, it's not one for one, but usually those kids had been violently molested at some point.
Not what I was expecting.
My favorite toy
I don't know if I
was cannot. We can definitely not. I think my favorite toy
Don't hide
was,
my trauma, Cole.
Sorry, damn, that's going to make editing awkward.
My favorite toy was, I had one of those Doc Ock arms from Spider-Man 2.
This rings the bell.
I got that for like my 3rd or 4th birthday.
That would attach to you?
No, it was like
It had the AI chip and everything that it would tap into your nerves.
Claws that had like the trigger on them, so you could like grab little things.
Like
that was probably my favorite toy growing up. That or after the first one came out, I got really into those Transformers that you can like disassemble and reassemble like by yourself.
I had assemble and reassemble by yourself. Like they come apart?
Yeah, like you can turn them into the Autobots and Decepticons.
So they don't come apart. You just you transform them by yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Those were fun too.
Yeah, I think I had like 10 or 15 of those. I love those.
I was also big into lightsabers too.
They had those at Cole and Chase's house. Yeah, they definitely had some lightsabers.
We made some of our most. Zach made one of his original films. We had lightsabers, and
that was it.
Remember,
that's a great.
We definitely used Legos. They had a lot of like Star Wars Lego characters, and we fashioned ourselves. I think his brother started it, and then we kind of joined in on it. Some Lego Star Wars films, like with the camcorder or whatever, and we would voice them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we just kind of set them up and then did the dialogue for them while moving the camera to each character. And then, but I think there was, I think we would move them a little bit for a lightsaber fight, maybe. I think at one point we did tie some fishing line. We tied some fishing line to one of the characters, and we were really pleased with how this turned out. We were moving that character around like he was floating, and then he went right into, kind of swung him into another character.
And
we thought that looked pretty good.
With missiles too.
I don't remember.
Chase had one of like the AT-ATs, and we like flew the missiles.
We never finished the arc.
I think we tried to restart it in like high school at some point, and it just didn't come to fruition.
We'll finish eventually. When I'm at my lowest of the low, I'll decide that it's time to finish that, and then also I'll release Corey and I's second album as well. And
Big Island. That's really gonna it's gonna make us big. I'm excited about it.
Big guys.
A lot of irons in the fire right now. That's what we got. We got a lot of irons in the fire.
For when Zach's at his lowest of the low.
But until Zach is at the lowest of the low, we'll keep working on digging them there. And with that, we will go on to the call sheets.
Hello. You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game. There is only one key to open the device. It's in the stomach of your dead cellmate. You better hurry up. Live or die. Make your choice.
Love that.
Keep digging.
Yeah, keep digging you to the lowest.
Look
of
at
the
this
low.
J.J. Abrams lens flare I got going on in like the top corner of my like.
How can you not be romantic about podcasting?
That's for the video.
Okay,
people.
Sorry, I forgot that this was my turn. But we have a call sheet today. We haven't had one. Was it just the last time? Maybe 2 times. No, we
not
gone.
Yeah, the last 2 times because we didn't have one during Field of Dreams or Friday the 13th.
Yeah, the big Friday the 13th one. So we are back and better than ever with the call sheets. And you know what this movie inspired me to do? We're playing a new game, still kind of the similar tone as the other games, but this game is called Place That Tune. You guys, I feel like, have an above average knowledge on songs within movies. Both you guys. Cole, when I was with him just the other day, mentioned a name of a song that I didn't even know, no idea. I know it when I hear it in a movie, but I don't recognize it just by the name. Or if you're like, I don't know, like I really only recognize them when they're in movies. But you guys, I feel like, can recognize it just by the name or just by like sometimes even a note, And so I wanted to challenge you guys to place that tune. I am going to give you the title of a song, and you are going to have to place it in a Disney or a Pixar movie. All of these are Pixar movies because I think Pixar does an above average job just like yourselves, but instead of identifying music, it's using music to effectively tell stories. And so I wanted to highlight that with this game. Does the game make sense? I'm going to give you the title of a song, and you guys are going to have to give me the answer. Yes, the movie. But I understand this can be hard. I purposely made a few of these rather difficult. The first one is going to be easier, and so we're going to go through it as an example. I'm going to give you something that I know both you guys know. We've already talked about it, in fact. I'm going to give you Times Are Changing. Now, you both know this, I'm assuming, but it looks like Zach's a little bit confused, so I don't think he knew it right off the bat. Zach, you know what you could do? You could say, I need a hint, Corey. And I say, Zach, that's completely fine. Here's a hint. It was written...
Whoa. Do I lose points for the hint?
Yes.
Okay,
so if you get it, if you... The hint. I know, but this is an example. Example, so that's why I was just going to run through it.
This is not number one? Okay.
No, This is not number one. This is
I'm sorry. Continue.
This is week 0 of college football. It doesn't really count.
Got it. My bad. I'm sorry for lashing out.
No, you're okay. You're rightfully to do so. But if you get it just on the name alone, you get 3 points. If I have to give you the hint of who wrote this song, you get 2 points. And then sometimes you still can't quite place it, because a lot of these movies use there's a lot of crossover with the people who write songs for these movies, I found out. So I have 4 options, and if you get it with the options, you get 1 point. So I'm going to give you, Zach, you looked a little bit confused. I'm going to tell you who wrote Times Are Changing. It was Randy Newman. Maybe I didn't write the name correctly. I just did that off of memory. Cole was singing this to me the other day. It's Times Are Changing by Randy Newman. Cole, you look confused.
Yeah.
So here are the options. A, Toy Story. B, Up. C, Incredibles. Or D, Brave. Now I have an answer from Cole. Cole figured it out.
Brave's not Pixar, is it?
It is.
It's like Pixar Disney.
Ah.
Why do you hate Scotland?
I like the movie. I just didn't know it was...
So the answer was Toy Story. Do you guys fully understand? That was a little bit longer than it probably needed to be. I paused a little bit longer than I needed to be.
Times Are Changing?
Maybe I didn't write it down.
Yeah.
No, it's when Buzz is taking over all Woody.
I think that's not called
Strange Things. It's
Strange Things. Sorry.
Oh, boy.
I wrote that from memory. I wrote that one from memory.
Happening to me.
I wrote that one from memory. Anyway, whatever. It was an example. The other ones are... I literally looked up. Calm down. It was an example.
Did Anton write that one?
I give you guys an example. It's not even worth a point, and you guys are already attacking me.
I'm not.
Are you ready for question number 1? Here we go. Define dancing.
These are all Pixar films?
Define dancing. These are all Pixar films. Define dancing. What movie is that from? What movie is Define dancing from?
You said you were starting easy?
No, he didn't.
I was like, oh man, this is going to be a tough one.
Number 2 and number 4 are the easy ones. Number 1 and 3 are more difficult.
Tough one.
This is a tough one.
There's a decent chance I haven't seen the last batch of Pixar movies, really.
I believe you have seen every single one of these. Like, you both have seen every single one of the movies that these are referencing. Okay, I have an answer from Zach. Cole, would you like...
I'd like a hint.
You would like a hint? You're not quite sure? Okay, the hint, it was written by Thomas Newman. Zach, you can shoot out another guess if you would like.
Thomas Newman?
Well, you don't have to.
Cole, why are you looking down?
Oh, he sent me a text.
I'm texting.
Cole, or Zach would... Okay, you sent it in. Would you guys like the last hint, or would you like to just move on? Okay, we'll go on to the last one. Here are your options. A, Inside Out. B, Cars. C, WALL-E. D, Monsters, Inc.
If we got it on, 2, but you gave the hint, do we still get the 2 points?
You will get the amount of points for that your answer deserves.
You will say that Joaquin Phoenix, you get what you fucking deserve. That's what you'll get.
Okay, on to question number 2. This song is called Married Life.
Done. You're done.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the hint. I'm just going to read off everything we'll go through it. It's written by, okay, you guys are going to have to help me with the name.
Michael Giacchino.
Michael Giacchino, thank you. I looked it up, but it didn't quite sound right when Google spit it out at me. It's written by Michael Giacchino. Any changes to your answers? Okay, the options are A, Up, B, Monsters, Inc., C, The Incredibles, or D, Lightyear.
See, it could
be
C, but it's not.
Moving on, question number 3.
Yeah, please.
This song is called Touch the Sky
by Kanye. It's on the Late Registration album.
Is correct.
Can we get much higher?
I have an answer from Cole. Zach, would you like to shoot it?
Touch the sky. That's what you're saying.
Would you like to put a puck on net before I give you guys the first hint?
I would love to put a puck on net.
Okay, I have an answer from each of you. Here is the first hint. It is written by Julie Fowlis. Julie Fowlis. Fowlis.
Did you say phallus?
Fowlis. Fowlis. Fowlis.
This is a tough.
Fowlis.
This is a tough game.
I told you 1 and 3 were hard.
I mean, goodness gracious.
Winds are calling.
Would you like the options? Are you ready for the options, you two?
Go.
A. Brave. B. A Bug's Life. C. Coco. Or D. Soul. Touch the Sky by Julie Fowlis. Okay.
Bug's Life?
On to question number 4, last one. This song is called Team Building. This song is called Team Building.
A novel. Team building? You said?
I said team building.
Team building?
Team building.
See, this is why I like to call you. We're having just so much fun, you know?
I had a bad time. I'm going to lose this game. I don't know
I like
if I've
the
gotten
idea.
a single one.
The idea of a song being called Team Building. Like, what are they building there?
What are those teens building over there?
Smells like Team Spirit.
This song is called Team Building, and it is written by Michael. Cole, say his last name again.
Giacchino.
Giacchino. Michael Giacchino. Same guy that wrote Married Life from question number 2. Michael Giacchino wrote Team Building for what movie?
Bum-bum-ba-da.
Okay. I have 2 answers from Cole, like he gave his for the hint. And okay, here are the options. Last hint. Is it A, Brave, B, Toy Story, C, Cars, or D, Inside Out?
Say them again?
Is it A, Brave, B, Toy Story, C, Cars, or D, Inside Out?
I mean, I'm just getting killed in this game.
Believe in you.
Okay, it looks like we have a winner, so we're going to go through and tally up the points. Question number 1, define dancing. Neither one of you got this on the first guess. Then I gave you guys Thomas Newman, and Cole, you got the correct answer. What was the correct answer?
Wow.
That is correct. Cole, you got 2 points. Zach,
Why did a new
Hey, buddy, your audio's doing something weird.
Zach, your microphone switched to your MacBook.
Why?
Did something come unplugged from your
Children.
love the
I'm going to have to come back in, I guess.
No worries.
Did I smoke him?
You absolutely smoked him.
It's a good feeling.
He got a total of 5 points, and you got 11. That's crazy. I think you got it on the first guess, every single one except the first one.
Yeah, that took me a minute. Like, it was just something about the name kind of threw me a little bit, but
Define dancing.
yeah.
First, I was gonna play each one
Ooh, I like that.
and play the first 5 seconds of each one.
It is a little hard to do on this. Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to think of a good way to do it because I could do it in the mic, but I was like, I don't know. And then I thought, oh, I could just do it and I could share screen, but then it would show the name, and I didn't have a good way of hiding it. And so I was like, I'll just give this.
It's tough, but I really like this game.
Well, yeah, because you're winning at it.
I like all of them. There's never one I have a problem with. If I get frustrated, it's probably just because I'm losing. I have fun.
I knew I should have looked up the name of the first one, but I was like, it doesn't really matter. I think that's what it's called. For the example.
I said the title.
Didn't listen.
Cole was singing it the other day, and I remember him saying this. Is he coming back?
Okay, on to question number 2. Cole has 2 points. Zach got 1 point for question number 1. On to question number 2. Married Life by Michael. You got to say his name again.
Giacchino.
God, I can't remember it. Michael Giacchino. You actually both got this on the first guess. Zach, what was the name of this movie? It is Up. That is correct. That is 3 points for both you. Cole is in the lead by 1 right now, 5-4. On to question number 3. Touch the Sky by Julie Fowlis. Cole, you got this on the first guess. What was this movie?
Brave.
It was Brave. That is correct. That is 3 points for you. Zach got this on the last guess. That will be another point for him. So that is 8-2.
I never got this. I never typed Brave at all.
Why did I give you a point? Well, that part didn't really matter because we're going to go on to the next one, which is Team Building by Michael Giacchino. I honestly thought I remembered, but I completely forgot.
That's getting embarrassing.
Michael Giacchino. Cole got this on the first go. Cole, what was the name of this movie?
Inside Out.
Inside Out. And Zach did not get this one, unfortunately. And Zach, thank you for your honesty. And just because of that, I'm going to let you keep that point from the last round. And so it was 11-5 in favor of Cole. So Cole, congratulations. You have won this game. Cole, do you have anything to say to the people?
My job's not finished.
On to the action.
Even the opening scene, there's always some random girl who gets a call that undoubtedly ends up getting her killed. It's also predictable. There's no element of surprise. You can see everything coming. Ah!
Did that surprise you?
Why?
Because you talk too much. Now shut the fuck up and watch the movie.
Damn right, it's not finished. It's a lot of
Cole is actually
a lot of games left. A lot of call sheets left.
It is 4-2 in favor of Cole right now for season 4 of the call sheet.
Do I look nervous? Do I look
Zach,
nervous?
you're only back by you're only 2 and 3. You're only one under 500, so you can
Zach,
come back easily.
Did you get that reference though? It's one of your new sports teams. It's a quote from an athlete.
I didn't pick it up either.
That's no. I know it. That's Kobe, right?
Yeah, he's at the podium after Game 5 of. They're like, you have a 3-2 lead, and
job's not finished.
And he's just like, job's not finished.
Zach, did you know that the Lakers are from Michigan?
Minneapolis.
Sorry.
Did you know
God
that
damn
the
it.
Dodgers are from Brooklyn?
I didn't know that, but then Cole was like, where do you think the name the Lakers came from? And I was like,
okay.
Corey goes,
I
just thought it was like a thing, things are named after things. Corey, do you know where the Utah Jazz were originally from?
New Orleans?
There you go.
Good. Okay. Media literacy is still alive.
Cole, what happened in this movie?
I just didn't know the Lakers. I know most of the traveling teams. There's a vast difference of them that have crossed through St. Louis.
Yeah, the Cardinals.
Cole,
Cole?
another go-ahead prompt there for you.
He's so upset. A group of toys owned by Andy come to life when humans aren't around. Led by Sheriff Woody, they worry about being replaced when Andy's birthday is moved earlier than expected. Andy receives Buzz Lightyear, a new high-tech toy who believes he's a real space ranger. Buzz quickly becomes Andy's favorite toy, making Woody jealous. When in reality, there's multiple scenes where Andy plays with them both, and it's just because his bed sheets change or something. Woody accidentally knocks Buzz out of a window while trying to get rid of him, and the other toys think Woody did it on purpose. Woody and Buzz end up stranded together and travel to Pizza Planet. They are captured by Sid, Andy's neighbor, who destroys toys and taken to his house. Buzz discovers he is just a toy and becomes depressed, but later regains purpose with Woody's help. Toys scare Sid into never harming toys again, and Woody and Buzz work together to return home. After a risky rescue involving a rocket, they reunite with Andy, become friends, and adjust to life in the new house, though a new puppy hints at future challenges. And he got up and walked away.
Yeah. I don't think I have a hot take or anything that I really wanted to this is what I was thinking during this movie. It could be because I've seen this movie a lot, but there was something that one of you guys offered up as a discussion point that I would like to start at. I don't know who wrote it. I said to name yourself, and
it was me.
Would you like to offer up your talking point?
Just said, is he really a villain, or is he just like a misunderstood kid who doesn't really have much social skills?
Cole, I like that prompt, and I feel like we don't even need to go that. Okay. When you really look at what Sid is doing, if you are like Sid, and what I'd assume is 99.99999% of people in this universe, you do not know that toys are alive. I don't think there's any problem with seeing what happens if you blow one up in your yard. I think that's actually a very reasonable thing for a young man to experiment with. I think
we all experimented with pyrotechnics at some point.
I think I was ever really blowing up toys, but I put it this way: if you had a toy and you got your hands on like a rocket or like at least like a firecracker or something, you're like, let's put it in this guy's little vest here, and then we'll light him on fire and see what happens. I'd be like, yeah, cool, let's do that. It could be worse. This guy could be, let's say Sid's born 30 years later, then maybe he's on the wrong side of the internet and he's, on on webs, like on the dark side of the web watching people die or something. But since he's born in the 90s, he's just blowing up little toys. It's not a big deal. He's not hurting anybody. I mean, he takes his sister's toys, but that's just good sibling fun.
Yeah, she just thinks he's a jerk. She's not like afraid of him because she like talks back like, what are you going to do?
He brings them to the doctor's office. He's helping the toys.
He cuts off their heads.
He says, Jamie's all better now. That's what he said.
Here's the thing. I was looking at it, and I was like, who? I honestly did not think it was you, Cole. I thought it was Zach, and I thought he had something that he saw. And so I was like, oh, maybe this will be an interesting discussion.
Don't have many deep thoughts on Sid.
Well, I was looking at it in terms of if you take away all the background noise, all if you put generic layer over everything that Sid has, including like his room and his shirt that he wears that has a skull on it. And if you take that stuff away and you just put like a regular black t-shirt even, and all the other stuff he's doing, he's just playing pretend for most of the time. Like he's like, command center, are we clear for takeoff? And he's like, doctor, what are we going to do? He's got a pretty
great
active
imagination. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just playing a little rougher with them than Andy does.
He is. And
I think
and there
way
are a lot
cooler than Andy. I'd rather hang out with Sid than Andy.
Oh, wow. So edgy. But there are a lot of things that he does where it's like, okay, maybe he is just trying to, maybe he's really interested in toys and he wants to be like, I don't know, he's got like an engineer's mind, he's trying to put it together, take it apart, see how it works and put it back together in different cool ways because he's like, this is more interesting to me. I don't know. If you take away all that other stuff and just focus on that, I could see your point. But because he's got a skull and crossbones and he is like, yeah, it's just like, okay,
it's very like
they're not saying there's like multiple layers to this guy. It's just the one that he's got.
It's definitely gives like if this character is written now, he's probably an incel.
I mean,
maybe.
It's 1995. I think Cobain had just left us at that point. He probably took that loss very hard.
He died in 94.
Sid probably was really into the grunge scene, as a child, and that's that. He's a man out of time because the grunge scene, as we all know, is fading now into like the Brit pop, more optimistic view of music, with Oasis and Blur coming in around then. And I think Sid is just kind of caught in that cross stream of public consciousness. And I think there's a really deep, long essay to be written about where his headspace might be in that turbulent time.
See, I don't think he's necessarily the villain because I think the villain overall, because like that's how it started. Is like, is Sid a misunderstood villain, or it was something along those lines.
Yeah, that's what I wrote. Yeah.
I don't know, like he's definitely an antagonist, but I don't think I don't think he's like the antagonist of the movie because the antagonist of the movie is like not even moving because no one's got I guess it's not even time. I was gonna say it's time is like they only have so long until they have to get back, but I think it's like
Sid's dog is the villain.
I was gonna say Woody kind of fits more of the villain because he gets in the way a lot.
Yeah, I think so.
And that leads me into something else I wanted to talk about, which was Woody being a likable character. I don't know if either of you had
I wrote
something to say about that.
I mean, Zach, you go first.
I mean, I think if okay, it's tough for me to talk about it without talking about the series as a whole because I think that's one aspect why I might prefer later Toy Stories because I do really like this movie. I'm not really sure. It will take me rewatching to really kind of clarify that. But I do think this is probably the weakest version of Woody. But I don't mean that in a writing sense. It's just like I think he had some growing up to do, and he has to go through it in this movie. And then I think, Corey, honestly you're right. I think he is the most villainous character in this movie. I mean, he didn't mean to knock Buzz out the window, but his butthurt behavior,
something.
His butthurt behavior is what causes this, because he really doesn't want to have an honest conversation about how he's feeling about kind of being displaced as the favorite toy. And yeah, I mean, we have movies where like the plot is all, maybe the main character is not the villain of the movie, but the main problem is caused by the main character. Like the example I always go to in my head is like Evie in The Mummy. She read the book. How many people died because Evie read the book? Read the book. She shouldn't have done that.
You mustn't read the book.
Yeah, the British guy knew it, but I don't know. I think there's still like, I don't know if it's just Tom Hanks' voice charisma. I still enjoy watching, Woody get frustrated and stuff. Watching this movie with Buzz, and their dynamic is really strong in this movie, and that's kind of something that we maybe that's a better conversation for later. But I feel like is this the only movie where like Woody and Buzz together is like the main dynamic
of the film? Yeah.
No, I feel like they get separated in every other movie.
They usually lead separate teams.
Buzz is basically completely sidelined in 4, which I think is a good discussion topic.
Well, exactly.
Is that
with Forky?
That's 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's fine, but I think that might be one reason why this movie is not maybe as fun to revisit as maybe the other ones. But not really to any actual real extent,
No, I agree. He is very enjoyable to watch, and I think he's very entertaining. And there was never a part where I was like, oh, get this whiny guy off the screen. Like, he is not enjoyable. But I think him and Buzz work so well together because Buzz sees himself as this very, very like special. Like he's a space ranger.
He thinks he's a space ranger.
Yes, but like
just that's really it.
But I know, and so but Woody sees it like, you're delusional. That's not like, we are toys. Like, don't worry about that. And so they both have to come to this kind of like center point where it's like Buzz thinks he is like the greatest and all like this all like special thing, and Woody sees himself as like, I'm just a toy, which almost like by comparison feels like lower on the, I don't even like just the totem pole of like hierarchy stuff. I don't even know exactly where that would go, but they have to come to this middle point and realize, I might not be like the most important special like space ranger in the world, but like that feeling of specialness and that idea of who I am is who I am to Andy. And I feel like Woody kind of lost that because Woody kind of started seeing his identity as Andy, and he kind of sees Sid next door and like toys are all over the place, and he doesn't see himself as very special. And like you get that really special moment between him and Buzz where his attitude changes. He stops being the quote unquote villain of the movie, where the attitude that led them to like mistake after mistake after mistake and getting further and further away from Andy. It switches where he was like, you might not be that special guy that you think you are, but to Andy, you are exactly that special thing. And then it's like, it doesn't feel like a realization to Woody necessarily, but it feels like him kind of clicking back into who he kind of sees himself as. But you see it more as like Woody's felt like this the entire time and maybe just lost that kind of mindset, It's not about Woody. It's not about Buzz. It's not about Mr. Potato Head. It's about Andy and how he sees them. And that's what gives them this like value, this specialness, and this like higher up on the totem pole than it would be just for another toy. Yes, cool.
Well, yeah, I think I definitely agree with you there, because when Buzz is in that funk and he's just sitting there, he's like, Woody's not saying like, you are a toy, like you're delusional for thinking you're anything else. He's like, you're a toy. You get to bring this great joy into Andy's life. And that is something that I think Woody values in himself. And I kind of agree with Zach. Later in the films, it's a lot better shown, but in this one, like he has that moment with Buzz, and it means so much that he's able to describe this. And I do agree, it's probably because it's Tom Hanks and his voice is so iconic, though I kept thinking of the David S. Pumpkins sketch from SNL while I was watching this.
That's your go-to, what you're thinking of with Tom Hanks? That's your Tom Hanks go-to in your head?
One. Like there might be no one in that island with you.
Any questions? No. Anyway, But yeah, I think that moment means so much because Buzz is able to pick himself up, and we can kind of see that when he never lost that, he just loved bringing joy into Andy's life. And if he's not doing that, he doesn't really feel like he's needed.
Well, yeah, but he does realize. Yeah, that's how it starts. Is that's why he's getting. Here's the thing: is they're both going through like a personal reckoning of where they are or who they are, I should say. You know, Buzz realizing he's not a space ranger by the end of the 2/3 through the movie, and Woody earlier in the movie, kind of going through this like, oh, I'm not Andy's favorite toy, and like both in that, the realization they both have, even with their separate issues, is like, yeah, it's about being Andy, like realizing how it's all about making Andy happy. And I think there's like one reason this movie, is probably holds up is like, I feel like most animated movies we talk about probably this would apply to, because the ones that don't, we would just never even think to talk about. But like the reason why Toy Story works for like parents and kids is like, I feel like there's probably a good parallel between the role the toys have and like to the kid, and then like parents' relationship with their kids, a little bit. I mean, they're both kind of like,
can you say that again?
Like, toys are like parents in a way. They're not like parenting Andy, but they're like the importance in the kid's life at this time. And I feel like this might even be a better discussion like 3 or something once Andy's older, and we compare that to like the mom getting sad when he's going to college or something. But like, I think that them realizing like you're not always going to be your kid's favorite, kind of like Woody's almost like, like the parent that's realizing that their kid is growing up or something. I mean, he's not really growing up, he's just playing with like a different toy. But like it's a similar type of like struggle that he's going through, realizing he's not as important anymore to Andy.
Which we learn is very much not the case, because when he's gone, and even when he's getting into that Buzz phase, like the hat is always present, and the hat symbolizes kind of his love for Woody. And then there's the really good moment where he's like, I can't find him anywhere. And his mom's like, oh, we'll find him. The parent comfort. And he just won't let go of the hat, because Woody is, for lack of a better word, he's comfort. He's his oldest friend.
Sure. But like, the main point is that they both like a parent, would realize like it's not that when you become a parent, you stop having your own identity, but like really your priority becomes your kid. And that at the end of the day, that's more important than anything else. And that's like, kind of what Woody and Buzz come to realize, is that Andy is more important than anything else. So like it's a relatable type of personal struggle, I think.
Yeah.
You hit me with a sure earlier.
What did I don't know, but I feel like that was a valid point.
No, it is. I think it is. Like, there are a lot of like, specifically with Woody and Buzz, you see that relationship and you see that like attitude specifically, I think, but you have all these other different toys. You have Rex, Mr. Potato Head, Bo Peep, and what was my favorite one? It was like Mr. Speak. Is that his name?
Yeah, the boombox thing.
No. The guy that writes the what did he do a presentation on last week that they were like, it went very, very well. It was a good one. I should have written that one down.
It was like plastic erosion awareness or something like that.
And I think he was like, and I think it went over very, very well.
Yeah,
and he goes,
the event it was a successful event. Like they have to like plan and schedule events in this room.
I love that. No, I liked that part. But you have all these other characters, and it's very interesting because, I mean, Woody has this very distinct, like, he's moving on playing with someone else, but, like, Mr. Potato Head has, I feel like, the exact same kind of attitudes towards Woody in a sense, he's kind of like built it. He's not taking any action, and he's more okay with Buzz coming in because he's like, good, getting a piece of his own medicine. Like that's kind of how he sees it with Woody, and he's kind of leading the charge to like get Woody out of here. He's the cause of all of our issues.
Dude, yeah, he's got a bloodlust in this movie. He like doesn't he use the Etch-a-Sketch to like make a noose to show Woody?
Yes, but it's like I don't know what exactly they were trying to do with that. Maybe it was just like to show that, I don't know, show conflict more. But it's like from the very beginning, he's like, then like, oh, you're worried you're not going to be the favorite toy anymore, Woody, And I think that would have been kind of interesting because this movie is very, very, like it moves, you know. I feel like
Yeah.
I say that with a lot of
It's
movies that
efficient.
are short, but like it uses its time. You never feel like it's overstaying its welcome. But I honestly think it could have afforded to be a bit longer and maybe have explored that theme just a little bit. Because I mean, you have 5 movies now that are there's going to be a 5th movie, and so it's not like there's a. I mean, this is the first one, so it's harder to judge what you're going to do. But I feel like when you're making a good movie, you can kind of tell. You know, you could see it and you could feel it, and so I feel like that kind of an attitude. You know, they had to have put that in there on purpose, and so I feel like that could have been explored a little bit more, and like maybe been more of a part of the story. And then when Woody has that realization, he's talking Buzz into it, like, you are important, you are special. It could have had more of a deeper meaning and kind of gone back a little bit more, rather than just like, oh, Woody believed this all along. It just took him to a while to realize that Buzz is the same thing. You know, it's not just him, which I kind of feel it's how it's painted.
It's definitely effective too when you have a voice like Tom Hanks that is, for lack of a better word, a comforting voice. There is a reason he is known as like America's dad. Like there's the joke that he's America's dad, you know.
It was Bill Clinton. Who is
Bill Clinton? Really? You're going to look this up and you're going to be upset which Bill you mixed him up with.
This says, no, I'm not.
But anyway, and then you have the juxtaposition that is Don Rickles being the voice of Mr. Potato Head, where Don Rickles is kind of this angry comedian, similar to, I would say, Black as anger in Inside Out, which is a perfect parallel to Amy Poehler as Joy. What's that face, Corey?
Well, I looked it up and I said, who is considered America's dad? And I kept pulling up George Washington, you know, that liberal bullshit. But I looked up America's dad in media and it gave me an answer. But it also said Bob Saget, but you were right. It said Tom Hanks as well. So it gave me a different bill.
Yeah, I knew which bill it was going to pull up.
I didn't even think of that bill.
But I think, yes, having this juxtaposition is important, but also Mr. Potato Head's motivation, which is really funny throughout the movie, is he just wants Andy to get a Mrs. Potato Head for his birthday or Christmas.
Kind of similar to the Frankenstein's monster in that regard. It's all he wants as well in all the Frankenstein texts.
Whoa.
And then
the way that he's like put together like that.
Hey, I'm Picasso.
Another essay to be written.
I'm Picasso.
Yeah,
I don't get it. You uncultured swine.
That was a good line.
My favorite Mr. Potato Head bit is when he gets knocked. He's like knocked to pieces in the truck, and all his little pieces fall on the ground, and his little lips go, "Throw him overboard," whatever. Like, that's great. It's a great bit.
And then he puts himself back together just to be hit by RC and like exploded everywhere in the truck.
Speaking
I
of,
like when he said, "I got to shave," and then he pops his mustache.
Yeah, great bit. That's a great
guys,
like that's a joke for the dads in the theater. That's a great dad joke.
I better shave.
I did want to bring this up just one time before we move off the point. So Mr. Spell was in charge of the plastic corrosion awareness.
That's great. That's great. It just builds out the world, doesn't it? Yeah,
it does.
I used to have a little bit of a fear of those Sid toys. I thought I liked them. Now they're like, I think, one of the strongest aspects of the movie. But I do remember, you know, way back in young Zach's life, back when, you know, movies were my toy. You know, like I said, I didn't have any toys. Movies were my toys. Back in that era, I remember that spider, like metal spider crawling thing with the shaved baby doll. Oh my goodness, I don't like that thing at all. Now it's like my favorite like creation of the movie. I think it's great.
But it also, as a child, that's like the feeling Woody has when he sees them. He's scared of them, and then they're just misunderstood.
Kind of like Frankenstein's monster again. Here we go.
Another essay to be written.
Probably the same essay. Probably a different part of the same essay.
Well, speaking of a different part of the same essay, they take a quick tone shift with that. Like you said, how you were afraid of it, you know? They take a very quick tone shift, and it's almost like as horror they can go within a children's movie, they probably go all the way up and they're towing that line of getting all the way up to horror. But what do you, like, what was the purpose? Because they don't really talk about...
Scare the kids.
Is that it?
Well, I think, the very simple message is, obviously like what we were just saying, don't judge a book by its cover. Like it's, these things look scary. They've been through a lot, but they're nice. They're nice toys.
They're just toys. I think that's kind of it. Like,
I understand.
All toys are toys.
Like I brought up just a second ago, this movie is very tight. It's only an hour and 30 minutes, I think, at most.
Not even.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And so
it's 81 minutes. So that's an hour 21.
But with that, you have a very simple story that you're already trying to tell, and I think they do a very good job of it, but they take a break. Not, I guess, kind of a break, not really. They kind of just add like another C plot almost for like a 15-minute period during when he gets to Sid's house or when they both get to Sid's house, and they end it with Woody kind of taking the main monster lead of that little plot point. But like, is that telling you anything about the plot and story as a whole that they've already established? Because like we said, it's about jealousy. It's about realizing like who you are and that is special. And like, I don't know, is it trying to expand on that at all? Or is this just like, we established Sid as a character and now we're trying to explore that part of the world that we already laid out? Gonna do a quick 15 minutes and then we're gonna move back to the A plot. Like, is that all it's doing?
It's a good switch. I mean, well, it's also, building out the whole world of just like toys are alive. Okay, what is it like to be a toy with an owner that doesn't treat them well? I think that builds it out, because that would be a natural curiosity for anyone watching this movie. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good change of environment. It's something new that we haven't seen in the first half of the movie. Yeah, I don't think we need to overthink it. I think it's just a cool change of pace at that point in the movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, I think it gives them even, more opportunity to be creative with the different toys that we meet there. And,
Yeah.
You got to build out your antagonist, your evil villain, Sid.
Well, he's more of the monster. I feel like there's a difference between an antagonist and a monster in a film. And I feel like Sid is the monster of the film, but he's not.
I think we would view Sid a lot differently if there was a scene of him being mean to Andy.
Yes.
Like, he's like the bully.
Yeah.
Across the...
He's the reason Buzz and Woody got stolen, but he just found he was just going through an arcade and stumbled on him.
Super, super cool. I'm going to get an alien to feed to my dog. And then guess what? These two toys are hooked onto that alien. Triple score.
Those little aliens are the best. I was like, wait, when did they get the other little aliens? But I was like, that must be in the second one or something. Yeah.
I think it is in the second one.
He is chosen.
Or might be
we
the
are
third
eternally
one.
grateful.
Might be the third one, actually.
No, I think it's the second
one.
No,
it's the second. I think that it's when they're in the toy store.
Because Bo Peep is like, kids! Or something like that.
They become Mr. Potato Head and Mrs. Potato Head's kids.
That's right. That's who it was. It's like, you diehard romantic. And she starts kissing him. It's like, oh. Yeah. But I don't know. I was just curious. It did make me think of there was a tweet a long time ago where it's like how music and songs are like the most interesting art form, because in the middle of a song you can have another artist come in and like completely tell a different story than what's going on, and it's like a completely different tone and everything, and you couldn't do that in like a book or a movie. But I was like, in this movie you kind of get that sense.
We do that. Yeah,
you kind of get that sense when they go over to Sid's house. It's like a horror director almost took over and he was like, okay, it's a kid's movie so you can't go crazy, but like tone shift, it's a very different vibe, and they kind of tell a story from start to end, like a short story within Sid's house. If you like, I mean, they still touch on what Woody and Buzz are going through, but like,
I think that
there is
really
a clear beginning, middle, and end
like
to that story too.
The fact that this is the type of movie that benefits for a few more cooks in the kitchen, so to speak, because while you do have someone like John Lasseter, who specializes in like kids movies directing it, and Andrew Stanton, who would go on to make Finding Nemo and WALL-E, and Joel Cohen. Not the Cohen you're thinking of, Zach. This was the guy who directed Garfield. Very different Cohen. Very different Cohen.
He should change his fucking name then.
He has an H in there.
Oh, you're right, he does.
But I think it benefits from, like, say, Joss Whedon, who at the time, his big thing was like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So, you have that little fun horror aspect that you can throw in there from a different, writer. And I think this is the type of movie that really benefits from that Sorry, Buffy came out 2 years later, but I still stand on what I said.
Really know what aspect of the movie came from what person, so I'm not, I'm not going to pretend that I know that John Lasseter, friendly John Lasseter didn't come up with the scary toys or something, but yeah, I mean, I think whatever all the cooks in the kitchen, they did a great job because the soup tastes delicious. So you like that? You like that?
Great line.
Obviously, this movie is... Oh, go ahead, Cole.
Well, I was just looking at the production team, speaking of like writing and how that benefited like what goes on here. But looking at the people who worked on this, there are 3 like big names that would go on to direct like big Pixar projects. So
Who
like this movie,
they?
your boy Pete Docter.
I love Pete Docter.
Andrew Stanton, as I mentioned.
Closer for
Lee
the Cardinals.
Finding Dory, and Lee Unkrich.
Mike Gersh.
Unkrich, who directed Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo with Andrew Stanton, Toy Story 3, and Coco.
Those are great ones. Those are all good.
Mama Coco.
Mama Coco.
Way to... So the animation in this movie is obviously a big aspect in the sense that this is like computer generated and not like the traditional hand-drawn Disney style that was like, having a big resurgence in the 90s. Like,
well, this wasn't when... I think this was before Disney bought Pixar. Pixar was like its own thing.
I know.
For a
that's
while.
That's not my point. My point has nothing to do with who owns it. It's just this is a groundbreaking style of animation. This was like the first full feature-length film in this style. So, and I think, like we talked about with like, I think about how we talked about like maybe like Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones, which is like, that's early in the era of like George Lucas pushing the technological boundaries of like, these backdrops, completely digital backdrops of, like Coruscant and other places in Star Wars, and how it might not, just by nature of what they are, like they will not age as well as something in like the original trilogy that's practically made, a set made and in front of you. Even if like a matte painting doesn't look as realistic, maybe it still, I don't know, in my opinion, is like more visually interesting than a digital background. But yes, I think with Toy Story, it's a similar type of thing because I think hand-drawn animation ages well inherently because it's there, it's in front of you, it's just really cool. I think this movie, it was better than I thought, in the sense that I feel like last time I watched this, I was like, ugh. Like in terms of like the way it looks sometimes.
It's more egregious, yeah.
Yeah, I think that you can definitely tell while watching this is an older animated movie more than like, watching, I don't know, like Lilo and Stitch or something, the original animated one. But so like, does that... But it wasn't as bad as I thought. Like I said, I think maybe the dog doesn't look great. I think that's where I noticed it the most. Is Sid's dog, I think, is a tough sit. And then also the kids themselves don't look great.
Yeah, the detail on the humans is not as well done as the detail on the toys, which I think is kind of intentional because it is a toy story.
Well, thank you. It's also, you can get away with more like uncanniness because toys aren't sentient beings in real life. So if it doesn't look exactly like a human,
you don't need that kind of detail for a toy.
It doesn't flick that weird switch in your brain where like something's off about this, like it would like with a human or like even like a dog, like something that we're used to. But I do still, I don't think it really bothers me that much while watching it, especially when I know it's the significance and like this is like the first movie to do that over a feature length. But does that affect your viewing at all? How does it hold up for you guys? I don't know. Did that cross your head while watching it?
It didn't really affect my viewing. I think if you're watching it specifically to judge it based off that, I think the dog did not look great. Andy oftentimes looked not real, like very, very much not real. Like it kind of took you out of it a little bit. But if you're going to be pushing the boundaries on like what technology you can use to tell a story, I think this is the way you do it, because there was never a time where the story was so uninteresting or it didn't grab me enough that I started to have to like focus on different aspects of it. Like start ask questions about like, Cole, you said in your summary, you said the toys came alive or have come alive. And not once throughout this movie did I think, how are these things alive? Enjoying watching it. I was enjoying Tom Hanks' performance. I was enjoying Tim Allen's performance. I was enjoying the story overall, that I was like, I don't even care. I'm not even thinking about it. And I think the same is true with the animation. Like, yeah, the Sid's dog did not look great, but the point that it was supposed to be scary did come through. As long as like the point is coming through and the story is engaging and the performances are entertaining and keep you locked in on what's going to happen next, I think that's all you really need, because then you're pushing the envelope and you're kind of making it easier for the next person to keep pushing the envelope, and it makes these more and more visual until you get to the point where it's like not trying to connect it to Avatar by any means, but you get to a point where you have like something like Avatar, which the world, the story, the visuals of it are the main aspect of it. I don't know if the Toy Story had anything to do with it. I'm assuming it didn't, but I think you need stepping stones like this where you don't have to focus on the animation and it could still be groundbreaking. And then that's how you get to those big points where you have like, oh my gosh, this beautiful piece of artwork like Avatar. So it did not take me out, but I think that has a lot to do with the story, the characters, the actors as a whole.
And Corey, to speak to that like a little more, I think the scene where, for me, it was most noticeable that the detail with Sid just wasn't really there was there's the scene where he's interrogating Woody with the magnifying glass and he's burning the hole in his head, but we get the magnifying glass on his mouth. And in a film now, an animated film now, that is definitely way more detailed. That being said, the scene is really funny because he's this kid who's kind of playing rough with the toys. And when his mom like tells him food's ready, he's more than happy to run away from it. And then it ends with Woody sticking his head in, I think it's like a bowl of Cheerios or something, and coming out with like 2 Cheerios on his eyes. But that being said, none of it ever took me out because the animation wasn't there. It was always very well done, and I can also equate it to, it was the first of its kind. It was the 90s. I mean,
different time.
Given the different time.
I mean, Cobain had just passed a year before. You know, this was just a different.
Cobain.
It had a big part of the story, Cole.
Another essay. There's another essay there, Cole. Yeah. I think. Cole, I'm really quick on that point, Cole, in that scene with Sid. One little Sid detail that I forgot to bring up earlier that I think is actually really funny and telling of his character is like, I feel like growing up, we were all like, you know, you think of Star Wars, you probably like pretend you're like Luke or something or Obi-Wan.
Where are your rebel friends
he's Woody to find out the location of the rebel base, you know? So he's like making himself like Moff Tarkin in his playtime. So maybe that's kind of an indicator of where he's headed politically. I don't know. But so that, I thought that was it's a funny character detail. But we actually do see Sid later in this series. We don't even spoil where, but Sid does appear one more time in the series.
Yeah, and I think all that stuff with Sid, I remember as a kid, like that was like the least fun part I had. But now it's like, oh my God, this is actually a really fun sequence where not only do we get this kind of horror-ish when the string keeps getting pulled, who are you calling? Bust it. And then he does the head-turning thing from The Exorcist and hits him with them. So play nice. Which is probably, I would say that is one of the most memorable sequences other than Buzz trying to fly and then falling back on the bed. I would say Sid being the toys coming to life and freaking out Sid is probably one of the moments that I think sticks with me the most from this.
One big reason this movie ages so well too is the characters that we have. It's like a pretty wide cast of characters between the toys and Andy's room. And I feel like each voice, they did a great job with the voice casting. I feel like each character, just by nature of being the fact that we're dealing with different types of toys, you really do have the opportunity for each character to be really niche and memorable and have their own really distinct personality. So I feel like there's so many of these toys could be my favorite toy in these movies, but they did a great job with the casting here. But I don't know if this is like a better question for like Toy Story 5 by like the time where we like done with this series and we just ask like who's your favorite toy out of all these that isn't like Woody or Buzz. So maybe just save it for them. But I did want to just say like, yeah, I love the overall cast of toys here. I think is really, really strong. I have a good time with every single one of these characters.
I'm looking at like all these actors they pulled. I mean, John Ratzenberg becomes basically the Pixar mainstay through the better part of our childhood, as he appears in like every single Pixar movie.
He's the School of Fish in Finding Nemo.
Yeah, and then he's Mac, the Mac truck in previously covered Cars. Go listen to our Cars episodes. But you have comedians like Don Rickles and Jim Varney as Slinky Dog, Wallace Shawn as Rex.
Love Slinky Dog.
Annie Potts as Bo Peep. Go listen to our Ghostbusters episodes.
I was gonna make that a guessing game for Corey. Was gonna be
no chance would have gotten that.
Corey, I got one more for you. Andy's mom. Yeah. Do not look it up, Corey. Don't look it up. Andy's mom.
I'm not looking it up.
She
I'm just typing
is
Toy
the
Story
villain. She is the villain in a movie that we have covered.
She is the villain in a movie that we've covered. Andy's mom.
She got a little knife happy, I think is a line in the movie.
She had a lot of work done is also a line in the movie.
Why can't I think of it? I feel like this is so descriptive. I got nothing.
Scream 2. She's Billy's mom.
She's Billy's mom.
Billy's mom is Andy's mom. The mom of the 90s. America's mom in the 90s, they called her because of Andy's mom and Billy's mom.
Does Andy become Billy?
Oh my God.
Does Zach, Andy have a brother?
Get your pen and paper out. There's an essay to be written. Maybe that's why Andy's dad just isn't around. Him and Sydney's mom, it got a little serious at this point.
Well, Zach, thinking about your question that we're going to answer later down the line when we have more movies in the catalog that we've covered, it was surprising looking at it now and thinking about where the franchise is today. There's not that many toys in Andy's room as of right now, like real, like ones that have actors associated with them. Because I feel like even I guess at the end of 2, they just introduce a few more, but like by the end of 3, I feel like you have a whole big like city of toys. You have a bunch of different
you have
characters.
A whole new room of Bonnie's room, the toys in there, and then the preschool and all that.
I know, but it's like, you have Bo Peep is Bonnie's toy, so it's just crazy that like it started out with there's like I don't know how many is that like 5 of them total right now.
Wait a minute. What's Andy's little sister? That's Molly. Bonnie's like the
Bonnie is the new girl.
Bonnie's the girl in 3.
Yeah, she's the Molly. Because Bo Peep is Molly's toy. Sorry, but it's just crazy to see. It's crazy to see where it started, where you have like 5 characters, and then I always think of these movies as a very like oh my gosh, what is it when you have a bunch of characters and it's kind of that's what the movie is. You have it's
ensemble.
It's an ensemble type movie. Yes, thank you. That's kind of how I see these movies as, but it's very much in this one like a buddy movie where it's just Tom Hanks and Tim Allen as Buddy or as Woody and Buzz, kind of combined those names there.
Yeah, and I think that's what benefits the later films because you split them up. You are able to add. We get Kelsey Grammer and Joan Cusack in the next movie, who are added cast members who bring a lot more to the story, but you're able to do that when you kind of take away the buddy aspect and make it like this is where Buzz is, this is where Woody is, and it kind of becomes Woody's story and Buzz is just more along for the ride, which I think happens more as these films go on.
Yeah. On to. Oh, sorry. You wanted me to say on to. I was like, well, I was going to say, is there any other thing that we want to touch on?
No.
But if not, to the award season.
Apparently they strayed off course, and we're fairly certain they're in guerrilla hands.
So why don't you use the regular army? What do you need us for? Because some damn fool accused you of being the best.
Zach, it looks like you're going first. Who is your MVP for Toy Story 1995, the year after Kurt Cobain died?
And the famous quote from Zach, you get to go first when you make the sheet.
Kurt Cobain is my MVP for Toy Story, just for the fact that the impact of his life had on the production of this film, I think is really tangible and easy to see. Yeah, can't really. And also, he made Nevermind, one of the best albums of the 90s. No, I'm going to go, he's been called the Kurt Cobain of Pixar composers. I'm going to go with Randy Newman. So, yeah, I know I kind of laughed. I was kind of making fun of that third song that he has in this movie earlier, the one when Buzz is trying to jump off the railing. It's not my favorite song, but I think the Strange Times or Strange Things song in the middle, and then obviously one of the best Disney songs of all time, if you want to call it a Disney song, You Got a Friend in Me. incredible. Just really nails the point of what a toy is, especially in the universe of this movie. Just being there for somebody, being able to be counted upon for the, the best of times, worst of times, all that. Just truly, really, honestly, I think it was nominated for Best Original Song at the Oscars. I want to say, I'm not positive on that.
I think it won.
Kind of crowdsourcing there. Either way, I think just a great song that kind of you can feel throughout this movie. And when it comes back in, I feel like, when you've watched this movie a million times, you've heard that song a million times, when you rewatch that, when that kicks in after that initial playtime opening to the movie, and we watch that montage of Andy and Woody playing together, it's like, oh, goosebumps in my arm. And then they utilize it well throughout the series. I think they don't overdo it. I want to say, but maybe I'll have a different opinion of that by the end. But yeah, that's my Randy Newman, great composer / original song songwriter.
Great songwriter. Alec. And I do want to say, I think I'm of the opinion now, after, You've Got a Friend in Me is probably the better song, overall for this movie. But when I listen to Strange Things, I can listen to that on its own, and that's just a great song.
It's a good one. Things are changing.
Times are changing.
It's definitely better than that song in Cars that they play over, the Radiator Springs City Changing. Man.
Wait, no, that one. I thought you were talking about.
No, I like Life. I like the other songs in the movie. I like
like they did before.
The Sheryl Crow song and the Life is a Highway
Real
song.
Gone.
Yeah, those are good.
Cole, who is your MVP?
I like how you said the Life is a Highway song when that is the title of the song. I'm gonna go the screenwriting team of Joss Whedon, Andrew Stanton, Joel Cohen, and Alex Sokolow.
Man, that was a tough one.
It's Russian, I'm assuming. I don't know. But no, as we talked about, these characters and this world, it's very, tangible for an animated film. And I think this story is just really, it hits home. When you're younger, it hits home. And I think now that I'm older, it hits home the same way, maybe in a little different way too. But I think this film is incredibly well written, and I know all these guys didn't stay on for the next one, so it's kind of going to be interesting to see, giving 2 a rewatch. I don't think I've rewatched 2 in forever to see how, that differs in the next movie.
I think 2's the one I've seen the most.
I think it might be the one I've seen the least.
I think it was always on TV, too. I don't know why. Well, since Cole took a whole team, I'm going to take the rest of the cast and crew that you guys haven't taken. They are my MVP.
You cannot pick them.
I'll take
you picked 4 people.
It's the screenwriting team.
I'm going to take the rest of the cast and crew who is a team on Toy Story.
We have done that before. We have picked
I am going to pick John Lasseter. Lasseter. Lannister, the director of this film. We talked a lot about the characters and all the different aspects of them. They're all they're all unique, they're all individual, and then you have the story kind of tying them all together in a very, very clean, tight way. You have this huge story that takes place in a city block, and it feels like enormous world. And I think the tone, the aspects of all that stuff are thanks to him. So I think he just hit it out of the park with this one. So John Lasseter is my MVP. I can't say a goddamn word without you just being like, he's gonna do something with his wiener. It's like, God, calm down, God.
What are we doing here, man?
I can't say clean and tight without you guys being like, uh-oh.
I didn't really catch that when you said that, apparently. But
is that what you were laughing at, Cole?
Explain yourself.
When I was laughing.
Yeah, what are you laughing at over there? What are you making a big deal about?
I don't know. I think it's because I heard you slightly say Lannister when you were saying Lasseter.
Review section
says that they insist on outside opinions.
What kind of opinions?
Well, your kind, not to put too fine a point on it. I mean, let's face it, in your particular field, you're the top minds.
Why are you breathing like that?
Whenever you're ready, Cole. Just absolutely whenever you're ready.
Breathing on the mic is so odd. Stop.
You're still going.
A film that truly captures the essence of childhood and how much toys can create a world of their own. can't wait for more. 4.75 out of 5.
Can't wait for more. I like that.
Get ready for the culture-changing movie that will give the most annoying people you know even more annoying things to say, or even more annoying things to constantly reference. Unfortunately, I can't argue with it, though, because this movie bangs. 5 out of 5.
Whoa, play the sounder.
Play the sounder.
I didn't really have a good one. So, Toy Story, more like Joy Story, 4.5 out of 5.
Thought you were going to play Toy Soldier.
I was messing around. I was workshopping that for a good 30 seconds, and then I kind of had a, what am I doing type of moment. And I just kind of moved on with my life.
On to the post-credit scene.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.
Well, as you know, I'm sure, because all of our listeners are loyal load takers and they listen to every single episode, we are going to be going back and forth this summer and this spring, and we are going to be doing Steven Spielberg alien movies and Toy Story, getting ready for Toy Story 5. And we are getting ready for Disclosure Day by Steven Spielberg, another alien movie. So in the spirit of that, the next movie we'll be covering is not Toy Story directly. We will be covering Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yep, that's right.
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if we were doing that or E.T. Anyway, we will be covering Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which I think we discovered last time. It's not streaming, unfortunately.
No.
Maybe it will by the time we're ready to record and get all that ready. But that will be our next episode, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. If you haven't seen it and you don't want to rent it, you can just listen along. Cole's going to give a great summary next time, so just listen along and we'll be talking about it. So that's something to look forward to. And then after that episode, we'll be going back to Toy Story with Toy Story 2. And that will be streaming on Disney Plus, of course, just like this one. But until then, have you guys seen anything since the last time we talked? It's been a little bit, not too long, but there is one thing that you guys have seen that I would like to hear a non-spoiler review of, and that is Project Hail Mary, the new movie that just came out.
Yeah, I saw that on, when did I see that? Thursday or Friday? Anyway.
They do not care when you saw it.
But, Ryan Gosling is great. I
Don't
really
spoil the movie.
Love him and everything he's in. I think Phil Lord and Chris Miller were the perfect guys to direct this movie because they know how to make like that animated style of live action where it's like the characters feel cartoonish, but they're not cartoonish. I think Ryan Gosling plays that very well, but it was really sweet. And I mean, it's one of those movies where it's like, if they made a sequel, wouldn't be mad. No, they're never gonna, but I'd be fine with it.
Yeah, there's only one book.
It's IP, bro. Who knows?
I think it is making a ton of money. I think I talked about it at the end of the Field of Dreams episode. I think you might have just been blacking out from your stomach pain at that point, Corey.
Yeah, probably. But Cole had just seen it. But the reason I wanted to bring it up is because you had a full star difference between the two of you.
Did Cole give it a 5-star movie? Cole gave it 5 stars?
No,
4.5.
I thought you gave it 3.5, Zach.
It sat well. I moved it up to a 4.
Oh, okay.
That's a half-star difference.
I think 3.5 is like the floor of what I've seen reviews come in as. I've been seeing it getting very, very good reviews on Letterboxd. So I'm excited for it. I'm seeing it on Wednesday, finishing up the book today, Monday, and Tuesday, probably Wednesday morning. I'll probably be finishing the book, honestly. Not the fastest reader in the world, but definitely...
Words are hard.
The slowest. Words are hard. I don't know.
Current average on Letterboxd is a 4.4.
Yeah, that last time I saw it.
Yeah, that's up at the Dune 2 territory, and I was like, wow.
But yeah, so once I see that, I can't wait to talk about it with you guys, and I'll talk about the differences between the book, because have either of you guys read the book?
No.
Okay.
But I'll be curious.
I'll bring it up. I'll let you guys know. So that's one I wanted to talk about. Cole, is there anything else you've been watching?
Yeah, I started the new season of Daredevil Born Again.
Out.
Really, really liked it. I think at the end of the first episode, my exact words were, "We are so back." I'm just watching it alone in my living room, and I wasn't even talking to anyone, but I'm just back. We're so back.
So back watching shows alone.
I love watching shows alone. And then last night I watched Mike, Nick, and Alice with Vince Vaughn, James Marsden, and Isa Gonzalez.
Now, Cole, I believe Kurt Cobain had a huge impact on that movie as well, right?
No,
The In
not at
Utero.
all.
Oh, sorry.
Solid
see the
action
influence.
comedy. Solid action comedy. Vince Vaughn is very enjoyable. There's 2 Vince Vaughns. It's in the trailer. I'm not spoiling anything. It's on the poster.
I haven't seen the poster.
It's called Mike, Nick, and Alice, and he is the 2 Nicks.
You know, coming from a household that has people of the same name, I just assumed that there were 2 people of the same name, and that was a bit. You look like you're afraid to say something.
Zach, what have you been watching?
I went and saw Forbidden Fruits in theaters, which is a kind of a funny, kind of like, I mean, it's like Mean Girls with a little bit of witchcraft in it, but it's
a little bit of The Craft.
Kind of, yeah, sure, but I haven't seen The Craft, but I'm aware that it's like a teenage witch movie, so I guess it's like Mean Girls meet The Craft maybe, with the, you know, kind of like Bottoms level absurdity in there. If you guys saw that movie, the Rachel Sennett movie. Yeah, so kind of like that. It was really funny. It is really, really funny movie. Lily Reinhart and Victoria Pedretti's in it. I've never seen Victoria Pedretti in like a comedy role, I don't think. And so, you know, I always associate her with Haunting of Hill House. Yeah. She's really funny in this. I mean, this is still technically, I guess, under the horror umbrella. I mean, it's like, you know, you watch the movie and it starts, it's like the Shudder thing pops up. So I guess Shudder, you know, got this movie distributed or helped with that. And it'll be on there eventually when it's out of theaters. And then you're watching it and you're like, this really isn't. You're kind of wondering. And then progressively towards the end, you're finally like, oh, there it is. You know, there's why it's on Shudder. But it is really funny. So I don't think it's the tightest script in the world. It's not as clean and tight as Corey would like it, but I think it is an enjoyable movie. I think when it's streaming, it'll be worth the watch. It's pretty funny.
And Corey, it's got Lola Tung, your favorite actress from The Summer I Turned Pretty.
She is the main character.
Yes.
Yeah, she's the main character.
Yes, yeah. No, I've been seeing a lot about that. The Victoria, I don't know how to say her last name.
I think it's Pedretti, but maybe I'm
Pedretti,
wrong.
yeah. That was very, no, you might be right. I just don't know. I'm not very good with names. But I saw lots of advertising for that. And I think I follow her on Instagram. And so she was posting about that. It was, what is so funny? I'm just saying I've seen the advertising and it's been an interesting movie to see.
It's okay.
Can't say anything in this environment.
I follow her too. It's all right.
Oh my God.
It's not to be
It's
ashamed
an actress I enjoy. I follow Pedro
her
Pascal too. So I get advertisements for movies that he's in. It's okay.
It's more sad.
I'm deleting Instagram. Can't do anything. I'm trying to get a lot of the 2025 movies, the bigger movies, under my belt and kind of getting a few of those logged on Letterboxd because culture is leaving me behind and I need to catch up. But I've been watching Invincible. That one's good. I'm excited. I told Cole this. I thought I knew exactly where the season was going to go because I know the comics and I've read the comics, but I don't think it's going to go where I thought it was, which is, I think it's a different storyline than I thought they were telling. So I'm interested to see how this goes and how this season ends because so far I'm in. It's good. Other things, Scrubs revival, still watching that. Still funny, still high quality stuff. It's not like earth shattering, but I mean, you don't need everything to leave a huge cultural footprint just to enjoy it. So I think there's value to that.
Have you started Rooster yet? Bill Lawrence's other show with Steve Carell?
I'm watching Shrinking. I'm watching Scrubs. I can only watch so many Bill Lawrence things. Like I'll get to it maybe, but I don't know. I'm still behind on The Pit. Like that's been. I got to keep up with that, and then I got to continue my Friday the 13th run through for the first time. I'm really excited for 7.
Corey, you are right on the precipice of. I'm going to be honest with you. And I think I should tell you this because maybe it'll lower your expectations. Maybe it'll surprise you. You're at the point where there's a dip. There's definitely a dip. But the ideas
really bad.
Ideas are crazy. You can definitely not say that they're not like thinking like, what can we do that's crazy in this one?
Well, I know for you, I've already surpassed the peak of the franchise with Jason Live.
Yeah, but what I can tell you at least is while I do think 7, 8, 9, 10 are all lower quality movies, I think at the very least Freddy vs. Jason and then the remake after are definitely more enjoyable than those. So it will eventually tip back in a more fun direction.
Do I have to watch Freddy vs. Jason to watch the remake? Or can I go,
you can go
7, 8,
straight to
9, 10?
the remake.
And then remake, because then I can start watching all the not Jason. I'm sorry, all the
Nightmare movies. That'll be so fun for you to have.
Because I've
Freddy
seen
vs. Jason
I've
as
seen
the
the
carrot
first
at the
one.
end, you know, dangling in front of
Yeah,
you. Yeah.
that'll be great. But besides, I haven't done too much. I'm excited to see. Once I see Project Hail Mary, I'll start watching more movies.
Alexa, stop.
I have to go water my plants.
Alexa, stop.
I have to go water my plants. But thank you for listening. Thank you for watching along. Remember, next week we are doing Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I have not seen that movie. Cole, have you seen that movie?
Not in a long time.
Zach, have you seen that movie recently?
Recently, no. I've seen it once, and it was probably about 5 years ago.
Okay, so this is a little bit of a refresh for you two, and then I have never seen it, so it's a fresh movie for me. I'm really excited about it. I really like Steven Spielberg alien stuff, so I'm excited to get on that train. So that's what we're covering next. Toy Story 2 after that. So until then, thank you for listening and keep watching movies.
Guys, I found a Dune typeface.